All right, tell me when we can go.
We can go.
Okay. Welcome everybody to Spirit Cafe Sessions here with Nikki and
Kim.
anyway, the one time I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to say your name and you're going to say it like right on beat. It's going to be funny. Anyway, oh my gosh, we are in December. We're in December by the time that this episode airs.
We
That's
are.
crazy.
We're
That's
I
crazy.
think we're
That's
well into December.
That's madness. Anyway,
Yes.
yes, we're super excited for this episode, everybody. Kim, you want to tell them what it's called?
Well, it is gratitude, abundance, and manifestations.
Yay! We had this one requested a couple of times.
Mhm.
Couple of times. Yeah, and we did push it back to December because we thought it was a good theme for December, to start the December month. We are very excited for the episodes that we have lined up for you guys. We are gonna have a little I don't know, last couple weeks or last week of December before Christmas, we are going to have an episode featuring Christmas miracle stories. So if you have anything heartfelt you want to share that you've experienced through the holidays, whatever it is, please let us know. Email it to us, DM it to one of us, and we will read it on air. You will remain anonymous, just like with our spooky stories, okay? Yeah.
Yes.
I
Unless
think it's
you
yeah.
unless you want to be named, but
Yeah, if you want to be named, then yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think if I have any to share. Christmas is not my favorite holiday. So I struggle with this one a little bit, but I mean, I'll see what I can come up with. I feel like Kim always has the stories. I'm starting to feel bad.
no,
But
no. Kim's
but
not a fan
anyway,
of Christmas either.
that's true, you're not. Yeah, so we don't hate it. Let's just throw that out there right now, people. We don't hate it. We're not against Christmas. We just don't like certain aspects of what it stands for these days.
Yes.
That's it.
And how like the forced
Yeah. Yeah.
gathering
It's
and
commercialized.
yeah. Yeah.
It's lost all meaning. All right.
Yes.
So the tea I'm drinking today is actually an old tea. Not an old tea. I mean, I've talked about this tea before, but I'm just going to preface this by saying I've got a flu going around my household pretty bad. I'm the last one standing. And so I'm having my echinacea tea, my echinacea and ginger tea with my spiced honey,
I was
which
gonna say, does it have your honey?
yes, it does. My spiced honey, I swear to God, it's been a godsend the last couple weeks. So many people around me with the flu, gastro bug, everything. I haven't caught anything yet. I swear by spiced honey, guys. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And that's what I'm drinking. Is just my echinacea tea, because I'm like, powering myself up with all these vitamins. And Kim, electrolytes in here.
Nice, nice. I've
That's
finally
right.
moved you over to the
That's
electrolyte
right.
side.
It took a very scary flu for me to be like, that's it. I'm going to get electrolytes. And that's what I
Yeah.
did.
But it
Just
does, like, electrolytes are really I find are, like, a game
energy.
changer for me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like, you
It's
just
only
feel
been
balanced and
oh, I was gonna say that the last 24 hours, like everybody around me moody. It's still a little bit intense out there with these retrogrades. But ever since I started drinking the electrolytes, I feel it's helping my nervous system as well.
mhm.
With my nervous system techniques, it's also just I feel calm. I feel good. Feel
Well,
good. So I'm
they
happy that I
are
got them.
very important to your body
Yes.
working, so
100%.
mhm.
100%. And I did pull tarot of the week for everybody. And you know what's interesting is it's actually, oh, I love this when this happens because it actually is perfect for this episode. It is
Oh.
the Eight of Swords, which, yes,
Oh.
looks pretty scary because it's a
Yeah.
woman bound, surrounded by swords. But this card comes out when we are, I kid you not, feeling trapped, restricted, in a negative mindset, and a mindset of lack, of scarcity, and we just feel powerless. So I think it's the perfect card to come out for this episode because Kim and I are going to be talking about how not to feel those things and why you also feel those things. And 9 times out of 10, you feeling those things are not your fault.
Yeah.
Like almost always they're not your fault, right? So this is like perfect for this card to come out. It's doubt, it's self-doubt, it's your ego, it's all that stuff that's really hard for you to not listen to, but you absolutely don't have to. And Kim and I will definitely help you out with that when it comes to this episode. I'm super excited for it. So let's just get right into it, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So you go.
No, I was gonna say, I think you have, like, the market on this stuff, so you're very good with your manifestation and
Well, thank
stuff
you.
like that.
I am going to
Yes.
preface that by saying I'm not a coach because I get a lot of people asking me to coach them. I don't coach for manifestation. That's not what I do. Lots of talented coaches out there, lots of affordable talented coaches out there. Please have a look at them. I can send you names of some, and they do good work. But do you need a coach? No, you don't need a coach. You can honestly learn how to manifest things perfectly by yourself. Kim knows now. You don't need somebody there to hold your hand. You just need to learn how to move into that mindset of abundance, which is very difficult these days for people to get into it. And again, it's not your fault. Manifestation, I mean, the godfather of manifestation, Neville Goddard, he's amazing. His lectures are on Spotify, on YouTube. I have his books. I like, he explains it in such fine, easy to get detail. So I definitely encourage people who are trying to manifest things, and I say trying because most people do try to manifest because they miss the point that manifesting is not trying. Manifesting is knowing that you have it. End of story, period, nothing. Okay. But a lot of people are always telling me, I'm trying to manifest. I'm trying. Well, then if you're trying to manifest, you don't have it. So you're not going to get it. That's it. Right. So Neville Goddard, if you're trying to learn how to manifest, if you're trying to learn techniques, if you're trying to understand it, he's a great point to start. I mean, you might not agree with everything he says. There are certain things that I don't agree with myself. Some techniques that he has that don't work for me, while other techniques work for me. Right, but it's a good starting point, and I will link it on our little description, some of his lectures on YouTube, and his one book that would really help you guys out. And you can get it anywhere, Amazon, he's everywhere, it's everywhere, this book. But the main thing when it comes to manifesting is that you have to believe that you deserve it. You have to know that you deserve it. You have to know that that saying, you can't have everything you want, is false. You have to know that you can have everything you want. And somebody said this once to me 7 years ago, one of my people, and I remember I was telling him all these things that I wanted, and but that doesn't make sense. I can't get that. Like, that's me being greedy. And he looked at me like I had three heads and be like, what are you talking about? You can have everything you want, right? I had no idea that this person at that time knew exactly what manifesting was. He knew exactly how to move kind of like the pawns of your life to get everything that you want just with your thoughts. And it's not witchcraft and it's not woohoo, even though it sounds like it. It's actually science. It's a branch of quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum entanglement. And if you're super logical like me, very 3D based, you need to see it to believe it. A good way to start also is to learning what those three things are. And I could go on rants, I could go on a lecture for like 3 hours about the quantum stuff, but I won't. Everybody knows that I don't. But look it up because it will also help you if you're very logical to understand how you can get anything you want, whether it's a promotion, whether it's money, whether it's a house, whether it's a relationship, whether it's good health, whether whatever it is, you can get everything you want just by your mind. I think people don't understand how powerful our mind is, how powerful our consciousness is, our soul, if you wanna attribute it, because it's all powerful. Your consciousness and your mind are powerhouses. They are. And yes, I mean, we've all read that thing where it's like, oh, humans only use like 14 or 13% of their mind or their brain. Yeah, because if we could use our entire brain, my God. Okay, I'm not saying it would be like the X-Men, but I am saying
But it could
like
be.
it could be. It could be. That would be amazing, but still, um, very powerful. And I think that most people don't understand. And a lot of people that come to me for readings, one of the main things they ask is, "Can you help me? Can you help me with whether it's getting this guy to talk to me, whether it's getting that job, whether it's getting that loan, whether it's getting whatever it's getting." And they usually want me to do some kind of like I'll just say it, like spell work, like candle work and stuff like that, and I don't do that. But there's people that do, and they do it very well. I don't do that, and I usually assist them through manifesting and telling them some techniques and stuff because you don't need that. You absolutely can use your own mind. You can. All right. But it's hard for people to kind of understand that, especially when you're
Yeah.
starting out, you know?
Yeah, well, they don't see, like, I think a lot of times people live in lack and live in, well, I haven't seen it so far. How's it going to actually be possible?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it only happens to other people. And those
Yeah.
are the things that stop you from getting it
Yeah, no,
is,
and Kim, you're absolutely right. And I used to be like that when I first started manifesting. My God, it would be 4 years. I used to be like that. Oh, I don't see it. It's not happening. I don't see it. I don't see the promotion. I don't see the raise. I don't see this. I don't see. And then all of a sudden, when I moved out of that mindset, which I'll tell you guys was a struggle for me, like it will be a struggle for the majority of you, and that is not your fault. I'm going to tell you that right now. And Kim knows 100% that move like having that lack mindset. That's not. You weren't born with that. You
yeah,
weren't born with it. You're born with a clean slate.
yeah,
You grew into that lack of mindset, whether that's through family, family, friends. The biggest culprit, to be honest, is social media,
I was gonna
media in
say
general,
media,
TV,
media.
commercials,
Yeah.
all of it. Brainwashed. We are absolutely 100% brainwashed, whether people want to believe it or not. Um, that we are brainwashed into the scarcity mindset. you
Mhm.
know so it's very interesting because the scarcity mindset, it focuses on the things that you don't have. Even if you feel that hope that you could get them, you're not focused so much on that hope and focused so much as that it's not there yet, you don't have it yet. um we're very 3D based. Humans are very 3D based, right?
Yeah.
So like we are, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. We need evidence, I get it. I needed evidence. I couldn't fully understand my mindset of lack, in a sense, until I learned more about quantum mechanics and physics and quantum entanglement. And then I got it. Then it hit me like a ton of bricks. And for some people, they don't need to learn that. For some people, they're okay just learning about manifesting through, meditation and through the techniques. They don't need to learn the logical scientific part of it, which is so great. And I really envy those people so much. Um, but yeah, um, we are we are fed that mindset.
We are.
We are fed that mindset. That's the
It
problem.
because, when you think about it, every commercial you see, whether it's like something to stimulate your vagus nerve or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have X, Y, and Z. So,
Mhm.
or, well, you could sleep like a baby if you took this. Or, oh, if you had this certain cereal, your whole family's going to get together and, have the greatest
Yeah.
little home family. Like, they really push these um idyllic situations that most people don't have. So,
Mhm.
if you don't have a certain kind of cereal, your whole family is not going to be, happy and getting
Yeah.
together, and your kids aren't going to be like straight A students. Like it's just that's what they push on you. So you have to get it. And as a consumer, you're buying it because you want to have that. But how many times have been any of a lot or most of this stuff, especially if you buy it off of like TikTok or whatever, or
Yeah.
whatever those shops. Um, Usually you don't get what you've ordered. So certainly don't work and try to get your money back. So really what you're manifesting is losing money
Yep.
because you're chasing the lack.
The interesting thing with that is I love that you brought that up, because that was one of the examples, first of all, I was going to use was that. And also when you get that box of cereal, when you get that new electronic, how's that fleeting feeling going for you?
Mm,
Fleeting. You got it.
yep,
You got that moment, and then you're wondering, what next? Why do I feel hollow after? Why did it not do this after? Why isn't this feeling why don't I feel this feeling all the time? What's going on? This was supposed to make the supposed to. Um Scarcity.
yep,
The culture feeds on it, media feeds on it, commercials feeds on it. Really, they count on us to have this mindset, because, like Kim says, then these temporary things will fix this mindset temporarily for us, and we'll keep buying, and we'll keep, putting effort into that, and keep. But the problem is that because we don't change our mindset, we're going to keep falling for it. That's what it is. We're going to keep falling
yep,
for it. Right. And I've explained this to many people who have trouble manifesting whatever that they is. And I'm going to tell you, first of all, I want to say one thing very, very simple. It is very easy to manifest a text message, people. It is so easy. It is the easiest thing in the world. Same thing with money. Um, Same thing with health this stuff, same thing with whatever you want. And by the way, when I say manifesting health stuff, please still go to doctors. Please still
Oh,
go to doctors.
absolutely,
Go to your
please.
specialists, go to your doctors, go to your therapist. Do not just think that manifesting is going to absolutely 100% cure whatever you have. Um, what a lot of people don't understand with manifesting is have those thoughts, have those intentions, live as if you are in that life, but move as if you are in that life. So if you want to, say you've got, something, you're feeling very depressed and you think you have depression, don't just will it away. Don't just focus your thoughts on willing it away. Move as if you don't have it because you went to the doctor. Do you know what I mean? Like move as if you've taken the steps to get rid of it. Okay. And that's the same thing with manifesting a text message. Move as if you have it. Move as if you have it. Okay. It's already done. You've got to move with your manifestations. A lot of things that I see a lot is, oh, you don't have to. You can just, repeat things over and over again and you're going to get your manifestation. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you will. For a few days and then it goes away. That's where hot and cold behavior is, right? The whole point is changing your inner self to live a reality. Or, I mean, I always say the main character, act as if you're the main character in your movie. This is your life. This is your movie. This is your book. Write the script, write the story. Move as if you are, right? So when people buy into the commercialism, like Kim said, and then 2 or 3 days later, all of a sudden they're missing that feeling that they got when they were with their family in that box of cereal, because it's not the box of cereal. That's the thing. That's a box. That's cardboard. What it is in here, right? What it is in here, and you can completely cultivate that feeling every single day of your life by moving from that kind of mindset, which I do know is very difficult because we have our wonderful ego, which we do need
Mhm.
because it keeps us safe. It stops us from jumping into a tank of, starved sharks, stops us from jumping in the middle of a volcano. All right. Like our ego is great for that. So good for that. But our ego is made to keep us safe. So it will very well feed into the fact that, oh, you can't do that. You don't have the skills. Oh no, you can't do that. You don't have the resources for that. Don't worry. Don't just stay where you are because you're comfortable. And just stay here because you know what's going to happen. Just stay living paycheck to paycheck because you know that it's going to be this pay everything and you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. If you stay like that's what your ego does. It keeps you safe. It doesn't know any better. It's made to keep you safe. It's made to keep you in a bubble so that you don't hurt yourself. And it's made to help you predict negative feelings. And when I say that, I mean doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same results, but you're comforted by those results because you know in a sense that they're coming. That's your ego, right? So we do have our ego telling us that we'll be disappointed. We do have our ego telling us that kind of stuff. So it's very also hard to move into that abundant mindset, and move into a life that perhaps at that moment in time seems less comfortable, right?
Mhm.
So when I get asked, and I get asked all the time, how do I get out of that mindset? I mean, of course, Google it because there's so many. But some of the easiest things is a gratitude list. Just a gratitude list. It's not something I do, but so many people I know, they do this. They, a couple times a week, they sit down, they write in their iPhone app or on a piece of paper, if they're old school like me, the things that they're grateful for. That's it. That's it. Just write it down. Just have it known that that's what you're grateful for. I do this thing where I don't do a gratitude list, but when something amazing happens or something super exciting, I'm like, I stop for a second just to feel that gratitude and thank myself and the universe and whatever I believe in, my spirit guide now. That's what I do. I take that moment to stop. And a lot of times we forget to do that. We get so caught up in those moments that we forget to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We stop that. So that's something that I learned over the last year or so to do, and I love it. And it's such a great feeling.
Absolutely.
Um, there was something I read once, that was interesting, that a lot of people don't know the difference between gratitude and toxic gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
Neither did I, though. So
No.
basically, it's basically being like, oh, you hate your job. Oh, you want a new job? Be grateful you have one. Oh
Yeah.
God, you don't like your marriage. Your husband's not treating you well. Hello, he's a great father. So shut up. That
Mhm.
is no. And we do that. We do that so much, and we don't know that that's toxic.
Yeah.
Isn't that
No,
crazy?
and, I've had that happen, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter, like, I had it happen the most poignant time was at a dentist, right? Because I was like, "I'm having troubles with my jaw. I can't, chew, whatever. Like, it's hard. It hurts all the time." And the dentist said to me, "Well, there's a lot more injured people than you, Kimberly. So you should
Oh,
be grateful." And,
oh, I hate that.
I will never forget that. And I stopped going to that dentist
Good,
because I thought,
good.
why? Like,
Yep.
why are you such, like, why? Why would you say that to somebody who's actively trying to get help?
Mhm,
Maybe you do
mhm.
have people who are, I don't know, trying to, I don't know what kind of system you'd be trying to fleece by getting someone to put something in your mouth so that you got plastic in your mouth. Like, it's not fun.
Mm-mm.
Um, like, it was just the most bizarre thing. And when we talk about gratitude, I kind of alluded to it the last episode, but I know at one point I was sitting with a bunch of friends, and there's one person who's tends to nothing ever really works out for her.
Oh, right, okay.
And so she's always complaining about anything and everything. This, oh, well, this and this, and just, one of those people is just walking toxicity, really.
Uh-oh.
And while we were talking, there was a group of us, and it was such a beautiful day. And it was kind of when one of the first things that I ever really clearly remember is like maybe what would be now considered a download now that I've been doing this for a while. And she was going on and on and on. And I just kind of went out, just said, um, you have to be grateful for what you have before you can get more. Like, you have to be like, if you can't, you're never going to get better or better things unless you're grateful for where you are at that point. And, you know, you can be grateful for any part of it, right? I'm
Mhm, mhm.
grateful that this
Yep.
morning I woke up and, I didn't feel sick, or, like, whatever,
Yes,
just like
yes,
some, even I'm grateful this
absolutely.
morning that I opened my eyes and, my house was warm.
Yep. Mhm.
Just the most like like really the most small things. You can be grateful for those things.
Yep.
And if you
Yep.
keep talking about being grateful for it, it's going to build up,
Yes.
and you add and you add and you get bigger. And then you start being like, I am so grateful.
Yep. You know what's
People
interesting,
say,
Kim?
"Hmm,
Like, I'm glad that you said that because I had a client once months ago tell me because I was telling her, "You gotta be grateful. Doesn't matter what. Grateful you have socks on. It doesn't matter." And you know what she said to me? Nikki, I feel dumb sometimes being grateful for like silly things. What? You know what I'm grateful for today? I literally said this. I'm so grateful that it's so beautiful in Ontario today that I got to put my Christmas decorations outside with my kid and it was not cold and it's a beautiful 10 plus day and the sun shining. That made me grateful. I don't care that that's a silly tiny little thing. And I feel it needs to be said. There is nothing that you can express gratitude for that is silly or stupid. Um
no,
you absolutely. Whether it's like Kim said, "Oh, my house is warm. I'm grateful for that." Right? Or I'm grateful that I'm not sick. I'm very grateful I don't have what's going on in my house right now. Little things like that. Kim is absolutely right. Those little things, those it's kind of like a counter. It adds up. The
mhm."
more that you're grateful for even that little silly stuff, the more that you will become abundant. It's crazy. Kim's right. Like the more that you do it even with the little stuff, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked.
Well, I know, um, when my dogs who have passed away now, my one dog, she was, oh my gosh, she had blood transfusions, she had to have, like, echocardiograms,
Mhm.
she had several things wrong with her, and I was paying a lot of money, didn't have insurance. I was paying a lot of money, and, like, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and I was even though I was doing this and I was paying this money out, I always thought, "I am so grateful that I have the ability to pay to
Yeah.
do this." to find the money, find the resources to make these things happen, um, for her. I am so grateful I have that. And it seemed once I kind of shifted into that opposed to, "Oh my gosh, what am I how am I gonna to pay for this? This is so expensive,"
Yeah.
into, "I'm grateful that I'm always able to pay for these things because I know some people aren't." That's when it didn't it seemed like I was always able to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying it
See?
didn't hurt, saying
Mhm.
that it wasn't like, "Ugh," but it just I always was able to have enough. And
See?
that's when I really my whole life really changed. You know,
No.
I always doesn't matter what happens to me, how bad down I've gotten, um, I've either been able to, like, completely wipe out, like, I've got to point a couple times where I've lost everything,
Yep.
and I've been like, "All right," I'm grateful that I have that ability to go, "Okay," brush myself off after I do my little morning thing, like, do little, self-soothing or whatever, and then I brush myself off and say, "All right, here we go." I start over again, and I've rebuilt a few
Mhm.
times. And now it's just better it gets better and better.
Yep. And this first of all, thank you for sharing that because I think it's very important um and that people know um that that story. First of all, I love that story with I know I've known that story, but I don't think you told that story to on like to our podcast listeners. So I'm really glad that you shared that story, but that in itself um is a perfect example of how if you're manifesting money or you're trying to become more abundant in money is exactly how you should go about it. Because for some people, it is very difficult for them to act as if they have money to get into that kind of mindset where they're like, no, I have lots of money. Nope, I have it. End of story. Nope, I got it. Nope, I don't care. It's going to be paid for. I know, I know. It's very hard. So if you can show gratitude for what you've already got and how you know it's going to just grow, that is also a very amazing way to manifest more actual money, wealth, when it comes in terms of money to you, is to show appreciation for what you have. That's the big one. And I don't think people realize that to show appreciation for what you have. And you know what? Also show appreciation for the people in your life whether you see them doing good towards you or someone else, because that's a big one too, I've noticed. I will see people be kind to somebody else, not to me, maybe to somebody else, and I do stop for a second. I'm like, that is so lovely that that guy just did that. That is so wonderful. Um, have that kind of mindset as well. Notice those things around you. The more that you notice kindness and gratitude around you, it's going to be much more easier for you to feel that shift within yourself is if
Yeah.
you notice it around you. And it's everywhere. You just got to open your eyes a little bit and you just got to look. It's in grocery stores. I see it in grocery stores. I see it at Tim Hortons is
Mhm.
over here. I freaking saw it at Dollarama the other day, a dollar store here. But I pay attention, right? But back in the day, I wouldn't have paid attention to that stuff. I wouldn't have
No.
even second thought to that, you know? So very
Well, that's
important to
yeah,
show that.
society is here, whether whatever your beliefs are, um, my beliefs are, there is a large, I don't know, thing around us,
That's right.
without getting specific, that wants us to fail, wants us to fear, wants us to be scared, wants us to think
Keep
we,
us like this.
we're
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
I better follow all these rules or else I'm never gonna be able to pay my bills or whatever, right? Like y you can move past it.
Hmm. Oh,
Like, I see these
100%.
people who are so upset about things, and I just think, "Okay, well, you're by being upset and by, like, I guess showing your outrage about how they're doing it, you're kinda manifesting it for yourself.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're kinda
It's so true.
manifesting that
Oh, I
lack,
love that.
right?
Oh, I
Now if you
love
can
that.
just say, "Hey, you know what? This is garbage, I'm not listening to it, this isn't going to affect me, I'm still going to succeed, I'm still going to
Yes.
do wonderful," and that's what's gonna happen.
Mhm. Yeah. That's exactly it though. So many people feel that way. And that's exactly what you should do. Okay. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much, ego or whoever's around me telling me this. Thank you very much. But I'm still going to go this way because that's what I want to do. But thank you very much. That's literally what you have to do. That's it. Like, you hit the nail on the head. And so many people struggle with that. So many people, because you're right. We are programmed, and I'll say it because it's true, to stay here instead of, and when I say here, for people who aren't looking up, I'm pointing like down, low, low, instead of
Mhm.
up here, past, my head, all the way up there. We are programmed to stay like that, to stay comforted, to stay, financially in middle class, even though I'm going to be honest, people, there's no middle class anymore. But
No.
that's where we are. That's where we're indoctrinated in a sense to stay. Kim is absolutely right. Um, and it's hard to get into that stance where you want to get out of there and to have that faith in yourself. So one of the other things that I do tell people to do is compare. Like, compare to where you are now to where you were in the past. Stop for a second and think about, honestly, it's cliche, but think about the things that you wished for 10 years ago that you now have. You know,
Mhm.
that helps. That, honestly, as silly as that might sound to a lot of people, that absolutely, absolutely helps. Um, Celebrating yourself, celebrating any win, any
Yes.
teeny tiny win, please do that. Please do that. And if you see
Yes.
other people celebrating their wins, celebrate it with them. Whether it's congratulations, whether it's like, "Oh my god, good for you." Um, Also very important. Why? Because it will push you to want to be in the same kind of mindset that they are, because people who get those kind of wins generally are in the grateful mindset. So if you see that, it's going to
Mhm.
push you. So celebrate other people's wins as well. Like, honestly, like, very important. And on a side note, be careful of the people who don't celebrate your wins. Be careful of the people who,
Yeah.
because they are
Notice
plenty.
those people.
Notice those people. Notice those people, because energy is everything, like Kim and I have said. And another thing is, watch your energy. Watch who you're with, because the people that you work with, the people that you surround yourself with, whether, if they're paranoid, if they're suspicious, if they're doubtful, if they don't take care of themselves, it's going to be very difficult for you to get into that mindset. Now, I'm not saying cut those people off, but I am saying boundaries,
Yeah.
because if you're trying to change your mindset, you need that support, and you need to be in an environment where there is a lot of, like I said, support, or people encouraging you, or you even just encouraging yourself. So it's very hard to do that when you're around naysayers, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very, very difficult. So boundaries also very important. Um, Another thing that I found, and it works for me, is donating your time, donating your resources, donating whatever you can. It's like putting it out there. It's like paying it forward. I'll be honest, I don't have a negative or fearful mindset with money. I don't see money as the root of all evil. I don't see money as a problem. I have a very healthy attitude towards money. I didn't always. I had to learn, and it's why I'm comfortable, and I am able to donate to the food bank every month. I am able to donate a lot to, toy drives and all that kind of stuff, and because I don't see money as something that's unattainable and something that's evil. So when people are telling me that I can't manifest this promotion, I can't manifest this win, I can't manifest this extra money. What's your core root when it comes to money? What do you think? Are you thinking that it's the root of all evil? Are you thinking that money doesn't buy happiness? So that's a big one. Money doesn't buy happiness. And I'm probably going to get flack
Yeah.
for this, but I will say that money does buy happiness, because in my
Well, it
head,
sure the
that's
heck can
what,
show you.
yeah,
Sh
like, I will,
afford
I
you to
will,
buy the things to make you or whatever, yeah.
yeah. So money for me does buy happiness. Why? Because it's not that I'm buying myself all this expensive stuff. I'm not buying all these expensive gadgets and jewelry and cars, and no, I'm not doing that. I'm actually a little bit, I'm a saver, but money for me buys happiness, because the money that I make, that I can work with, I can use to make other people happy who don't have potentially what I have. And yeah, it's selfish, fine. But you know what? Almost every good deed out there is a little selfish root to it. That's something from a Friends episode, by the way, though. No good deed is
Oh, yeah?
yeah, yeah, no good deed is ever unselfish. And I believe that it isn't. It makes us feel better. But in making us feel better, it also does great for somebody else. So is it bad that that there's certain good deeds that are selfish if it's going to make somebody feel inherently better than you? No, absolutely not. So, if you're manifesting money, if you want more money, you've gotta You've got to deal with the relationship that you have with money. And it's difficult because if you grew up with a poverty mindset or a scarcity mindset when it comes to money, you will struggle until you can get to the root of that. And you can realize that money is not your enemy and money is your friend. And money wants to be with you all the time and constantly be flying at you left, right, and center. Um, if you can change that mindset, um, then you will find yourself having money flowing like a river. I'm telling you, from somebody who struggled so much, and I'm very ambitious, and I struggled for like 10 years with this concept because I was all about my career, my ambitions, my goals. And then when I got out of that mindset and I realized that money's not evil and that money can buy happiness, wow. Wow, 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 did things change for me financially, right? Um, and I think that's also very important because the whole money is the root of all evil, the whole money doesn't buy happiness. That is something that's fed to us since we were little children,
Mhm.
right?
Well, it's all
But
part of
where did that
the
come from?
greater
You've
thing.
got to look at where
Yeah.
that came from because it came from certain very powerful and influential people who have
Mhm.
lots of money, right? So I'm just
Yes.
saying, everything that you manifest, everything that you want, you have to look at it from a positive um, like positivity, I should say. Don't look at
Yeah.
money as something negative because what do you think is going to happen if you do
Well,
that, right?
I know with me, I'm the same way. Um, I've had some extremely lean years.
Hmm.
I used to be terrified about money, terrified. And in, the infinite wisdom of my spirit, soul, whatever,
Hmm.
um, apparently part of my lessons were to learn that, you know, y you could miss a bill payment without the whole world ending,
Yep.
right? Like, and I was broken down with that, and like I said, like, I've lost everything, absolutely lost everything to rebuild it more than once,
Hmm.
and now I'm at the point, I I think sometimes people might feel uncomfortable, but if I have someone who I really care for and they need something, for something, and I will just say, "Hey, you know what? Here." And, I've had like a little bit, "Oh, no, I don't feel comfortable." I can do it right now.
Yep.
I might not be able to do it in the future. So, this is what I'm doing. Don't, and then
Absolutely.
it's like, "Oh, I'll pay you back right away." It's like, you don't have to kill yourself over it. Like, you don't have to work as hard as you can. You know, whenever, I'm good. I'm not worried about how or when it
Hmm.
comes back
Yep.
because I want to
I
help
love
someone.
that.
And I find that has, like, I'm also one of those people that if there's somebody that I care about and I find things, and I happen to come across stuff, I'll just get it for them, right? If this will
Yes,
make
you
it
will.
easy, this will make it easier. So in a way, I almost feel like maybe people are feel like that I'm trying to, I don't know. I sometimes feel that might be a little bit overwhelming for people who aren't used to somebody like me. And
Yep.
but this is my way of basically saying, I love you. I'm giving you these
Hmm.
things because I thought of you because
Yep.
you mean a lot to me.
Yep.
You know, doesn't
Hmm.
mean I expect something from you. Doesn't mean that, and that I think that might be where it is because I know when somebody gives me something significant, I think, "Oh my gosh, like how could I ever compare to that?"
Repay.
Right?
Yes.
Like I have,
Yeah.
I have someone in my life who is extremely generous with the
Hmm.
things that she gives me. And, for my birthday or whatever, like extreme, like afforded me things that I never could have ever imagined prior. And, I always think, oh, how could I ever compare to that? But then I realized, well, maybe one day I can for someone else,
Yeah.
like
I love
she's
that.
not expecting the same thing from me, right?
Hmm.
Because of our positions of where we're at, right? And I just think I'm just so grateful for having that. Like so incredibly grateful for having her in my life. And being, you know, just so like it because these are things that are just amazing. Like some of the things she's done have actually changed some parts of my life. And as silly as that sounds, right? So those are the things you want to be grateful. And I do believe that I, at some level, manifested it
You
because
did probably.
these are the things I wanted.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you did. You did, yeah. There's, And I will touch upon manifesting techniques and stuff in a little bit. I'm not going to go fully into it because, guys, you can honestly find that TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, YouTube now. But it's interesting that you said that, Kim, because that's a thing. And I've done it countless times. I actually did it with that couch. I showed Kim. I got a new couch. So I did the same thing. That couch that I showed you, it's like the dark green Art Deco couch. So it's just a three-seater couch, $1,000. I don't care. It's very Great Gatsby. I love Art Deco. I don't care. So I wanted that couch. But this is where my lack of mindset here hit me for like a year. But I always was like, I can't spend $1,000 just for one piece of like just one couch. If for that money I should get a set. No, I'm not but I want it, It's emerald green. It's beautiful. I want it. I want it. I want it. It's so bad. I wanted it so bad, so bad, so bad. And I ended up getting it for 60% off. So for $400. I mean, I did have to wait like 6 to 8 months, I
Right.
believe, ever since I got it. But I always even I would talk myself out of getting it, but that desire to get it and that knowing that I got it, definitely it was a way that you it is a way that you made. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
um, yeah, I definitely do think that I manifested it, and this is so, I wanna tell a little story about
Please, please do. Yes.
my manifesting. So, totally I I I didn't do this knowingly, but it really underscored how important your words are, your thoughts.
Yes.
Um, so,
Yay.
leading up, 2021 was a pretty, it was a turbulent year. It had a lot of ups and downs, um, which is kind of funny because in 2022 and, it really, there's been every year
Yep.
has its own stuff. Anyhow, so I had, a few people pass away, and I remember getting this reading in, at towards the end of 2021, and it was just like a platform kind of thing, and the medium said brought through some of my loved ones, and they were saying, "Hey, you need to ask for things." Like,
Oh,
you um, need to ask for things and allow people to help you, allow people to give things to you because you are, "Nope, I can do it by myself. I'm good, don't need help."
yes.
And
Yes.
and so my loved one came through and said, "You need to ask, and you need to be willing to allow people to help you." And I was like, "Oh, that feels very uncomfortable, like, hasn't
Get into
really
that
worked out."
feminine energy.
Yeah, it's like, hasn't really worked out so far for me, so there we go, back into that. But in this time, I'm sitting in, my office where I am now, and I'm thinking, I'd really wish I could paint these walls purple. Like, nothing was stopping me.
Sure.
But it
Uh-huh.
was just, I really wish I could paint these walls purple. And I'd walk out into on this basement, and this house, it's like a two-story and the
Mhm.
basement's finished. But in the finished basement we never changed the carpet, had like melt spots on it. And I don't know how that
Mhm.
happens, but it was just, it was a gross carpet and I could never get it clean. So I'd always, oh, I wish we could have new carpet here. Like, and these things are starting to get expensive, right? And then I'm thinking, oh, I wish I could have a new washer and dryer. Ugh, I
Mhm.
really wish I could have a new furnace. Wouldn't it be lovely to have air conditioning?
Mm.
Oh, I would love to get new windows and siding. I'd really like to have a different color siding. I would like some dark siding.
Mhm.
And I'm saying these things, right? Oh, this couch. I hate this couch. I don't like this couch. I need a new couch. Well, January 4th, 2022, our neighbors had a fire. So it was coincidence that we were home,
Yep.
or it was not a coincidence. None of us were supposed to be home that day. I was home because I was sick. So my work was like, well, if you have anything that could possibly be like COVID symptoms, you can't come into work. So I was working from
Fair.
home.
Yep.
And the government had decided that the kids were going to be pushed back a week, restarting.
Yeah. Spoke. Yep. Mhm.
So they weren't going back to school on January 4th like they were supposed to. So we were all sitting around at home. And my oldest, well, first of all, I was sitting in my office here, and all of a sudden hear like bang. I'm like, what? But and I thought, did some bird just try to off itself by flying into my window? Like I had
Mhm.
no like there was
Yeah.
nowhere to like I had no other I didn't know what that was. I thought that's
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm looking, and I'm like, "That's weird." And then it happened again. I'm like, "Okay, is this bird really having a difficulty with this? Like, what is going on?" Because it was like bang, and like
Yeah.
the window was like shaking. So then my son, so I started to go upstairs to kind of look around, and my son was coming downstairs, and he says, "Mom, mom, neighbors, their garage is on fire." And they're a detached garage, so
Okay.
their house is forward, and we're attached, so we're farther back. So our house was closest to this garage. Well, it was fully engulfed. They had vehicles in there, like, and the noise, the banging was like
Yeah.
propane,
Yeah. Yeah.
gas tanks, everything blowing up. So, I got on phone, I told my son, "Go tell them." They had no clue. Right? If we wouldn't have been home, like, our house could have
Jesus.
gone up,
Yeah.
right? They had no clue. They're just walking around, and my son, I guess, like, it was cold. It was probably, like, -30. He went in there, and he was, like, ringing the doorbell, and my neighbor, she was like, "What the heck? Like, what is wrong with this person?" Right? So she opened the door and was kinda, like, taken back when he said, your garage is on fire."
Mhm.
So this led to, while they're putting out the fire, um, the water came that the firemen were using came, jumped over, like, the snow and kind of the ice, and came down and flooded into my basement. So my entire basement
Oh,
was
there you
flooded.
go. Yeah.
Um, the windows and siding melted, broke open, so my bed, our house got full of smoke.
Mhm.
And it was so cold. It was a very high chance that it had gotten into our furnace, because we have forced
Yep.
air.
Of course.
So they they had to check that. The water came through, and where the water came through on the one side of my house
Mhm.
was like right where the electrical panel is, that where everything comes into the house. Came
Yep.
in right behind that. So, it shorted out my washer and dryer. Um, so and my fridge. So I got a new fridge. I got a new washer and dryer. Ended up getting a new
Wow.
furnace and air conditioner, because I thought, "Okay, well, if all this other stuff's getting replaced, I'll buy this," because we needed it.
Wow.
Got a new couch, got brand new carpet downstairs. They had to redo all the drywall. My whole house got painted, like, all the colors that I wanted.
Yeah.
It would no longer was just that plain old beigey color. I had to get a new bed. That was one thing that kind of annoyed me, because I had just took so long to get this new bed, and
Oh,
then it was
no.
a year and a half, and then the smoke, and it's just like every time you walk in my room, you could still smell it, right? Just because
So you had to. Yeah.
it had broken, like, the window, and yeah. So, um yeah, so I got new windows. I got the most beautiful new siding. I got it in,
Mhm.
like, a black slate, and, I got all that stuff. And so I always say, "Be careful what you wish for,"
That's
but I
right.
very, very likely manifested it. Well,
Yeah.
there's no question. Like,
No, there's no question. No.
all the
No,
stuff that
that's a
happened,
thing.
there's no
Yep.
question that by me saying all that stuff, I manifested it,
Yep.
and I think spirit was like, "How the heck are we gonna do this?" Like, like,
Yep.
she's
No,
got a
but it's
pretty tall
true.
lift, and honestly, that was probably the best way that all of it could have been manifested. We were all
Yep.
safe, we were all okay. um, it was a pain in the butt trying to, you know, because our insurance was, like, amazing.
Of
I had the most
Yeah.
amazing insurance,
Oh,
adjuster.
see?
She was
Wonderful.
just this
Wonderful.
beautiful person. She was such a kind woman. She even helped me at the same time. My dog needed to get all
Mhm.
her teeth done, and the vet was saying, "Oh, it's gonna be $4,000." And I'm like, but all this other stuff is happening?" I'm like, "What? What?"
Mhm.
And then I was telling her, and she's, "Oh, yeah, go to this clinic." And I went to that clinic, and they gave me, it's so funny, because my dentist, the vet said, "Oh, it's gonna be like $4,000. But that's also because you gotta buy this little special program, blah, 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 and you're gonna get all
You're
this
right,
stuff,"
right, right, right.
you know? Um, and then so I was just like, "Ooh, okay." Uh, and so I was telling her, and she said, "Go to this place." So I went there, and I got they took my dog in, and they handed me the estimate, right? And as they're handing it to me, they said, "Here you go. This is for 3
Okay.
months. If you wanna book it, it's $300. You can, do it. So, but you got some time to think about it. I just looked at it and it said between 500 and $1,000. And I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
I
Of
just go over
course.
there and pay for it?" And they
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, yeah, just go put the deposit and then we'll book it." It cost me, including food and everything, like 800 bucks,
Yeah. I'm
you
not
know?
surprised. I'm totally
So,
not surprised by that.
like, again, I was everything was so wonderful, like, it just all worked out, even though,
Mhm.
you know, things weren't good, there were, things that were happening, there were so many other things that were happening, but it just all works out, and that's
Yeah.
just where I'll first tell people, "Be careful what you wish for."
Yes. Yeah, no, seriously though. Seriously,
If
you will
if
get
you're
it.
not
You will get it.
prepared, um, and, be grateful, and I am so incredibly grateful for the entire
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
because it changed my life in so many ways,
Yeah.
so many ways.
That's an amazing story. I've never actually heard that story, guys, so I'm listening to it for the first time that you guys are. Um, but that's exactly what it is. Be careful what you're wishing for. Be careful what you're manifesting. Because if you're not
Mhm.
specific, you're gonna get it. You're going to always get what you manifest, but it will not be the way that you think. So being specific when you manifest, yes, you absolutely can be. Be specific and then get out of the universe's way. All right. Because their job is to deliver it to you. That's how it always works when you're manifesting something, whether it's like what Kim wanted, a completely remodel of her house, a text message, a job, whatever it is. Manifest it, be as specific as possible, and get the hell out of the universe's way. I'm going to tell you that right now because your job is not to worry how you're going to get it. No, it's coming. That's the universe's job. I compare it actually to Amazon. Kim's heard me. I compare it to Amazon or pizza delivery. You put your order in, you're not checking out the window every 5 minutes where it is. You know it's coming. So just sit back, relax, go about your day, and trust and know it's coming. Okay. I mean, hopefully it won't gut everything like it did with Kim, but also with your story, yeah, you got everything you wanted
Yeah,
and then some,
I did.
right? And
I
that's
did.
often what happens too.
Yeah.
Like
It
that's amazing.
it was crazy, like, it was a crazy time, like, we had in that period of time, I think we had 2 or 3 people pass away, and then, like, leading up to it, there was, like, 3, and then, like, that year was
Hmm.
just all
Yeah.
these crazy things, just happening, and, you know,
Hmm.
I also at that same time, I always say it's kinda weird, but at that same time, not that I was, like, heavily drinking or anything, but
Right.
I had, probably about December, January of that year, I just, no, I just don't care for it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, at all. And it's really hard for you, for people to kind of accept that new you, right? Like, "Oh, why don't you want
Yes.
it?" You're either pregnant
Oh,
or you're, like, there's this like, people always have all these, "Oh, why aren't you drinking?" Um, and, "Oh, you can just have one." "No, I really don't want one."
yeah.
And, when I also and that's when that stopped, and I thought, of all times that somebody would kinda go screaming down, is when all that stuff is happening, right? Like complete stress and all that stuff. But I never did, and it just, so many things unfolded from that.
Yeah.
Like so many things.
Yeah.
Like my life has completely changed since then,
Yeah. I believe
and
it.
I'm
I believe it.
incredibly grateful.
Yeah, I 100% believe it, and I like that you brought up that, you just didn't wanna drink, you just didn't wanna I used to smoke, I used to smoke till I was, like, 21 or something, and, then I woke up one day, I don't wanna, and I didn't, and I stopped, and I haven't since, not a one, and people the same thing, and when I tell people that story, they're like, "Well, what made you? I didn't get scared, I just woke up one day, I didn't want it. I didn't want it."
Mhm,
You know, I mean, that's a lot of thing because our bodies, not to get off topic, but our bodies they do pick up on stuff before we even mentally pick up on it. So in my
mhm,
sense, my body was like, no, we're not smoking anymore. We're done with this. And then my brain was like, oh, okay. And then the rest of me was like, oh, I guess we're done with it. And we don't know that it's our consciousness being like, no, no, no more. No, no, right?
yeah,
Same thing with you. Like it's just you're just that's it. And
yeah,
it happens more often than people know, but people can't explain it. But it definitely happens. And it's very interesting because I'm not going to go full into techniques for manifesting, but what Kim did when she was wishing for, oh, I want, I wish you could paint this room purple. I wish I knew carpet.
Paint the walls.
That is a manifesting technique. She was subconsciously doing it. She was, it was wishing. It was wishing technique. It is actually, it's the technique most people actually use, and they don't even know they're manifesting when they use it. Oh, I wish this person would text me. Oh, I wish I could see this person. Oh, I wish I had that job. Oh, I wish I had this. That is manifesting, whether you guys believe it or not. And 9 times out of 10, you end up getting it months, weeks later. That's a technique. A little bit of lack in that technique, but you will get it. You will always get it. There's tons of manifesting techniques out there. My God, repetition's a big one. Repetition is one that I tell a lot of people to do because we have a lack mindset, like we've talked about in this episode. The easiest thing to get out of that lack mindset, if we're having trouble, cultivating gratitude, and moving into the main character energy, as I call it, is repetition. Because the neural pathways in our mind are constructed to think one way. So if we're repeating the same thought over and over again, the same story over and over again, I'm going to tell you guys, it's going to appear in your reality. It's going to appear. You can fight me on it all you want, and I'll fight you back because it will always appear. If you're constantly thinking that somebody's not interested in you because they're not texting you, that person's not going to text you and they are not going to act interested in you. If you're constantly thinking that you are not going to get that promotion because you were late those 3 times, you are not going to get that promotion because you were late those 3 times, right? But getting out of those stories, getting out of those lack stories is so difficult. So repetition is really great to killing those old stories and creating new neural pathways in our mind. And repetition can be any of affirmations that we use, whether they're I am so loved by this person, I'm so missed by this person, or I'm so wanted for this promotion. They want me all the time for this promotion. Oh my God, they only want me for this promotion. Repeating the same stories over and over and over again, or affirmations, will help, will absolutely help build um will help build your I should say your consciousness to fully accept the manifestation as you've already had it, and therefore it would repeat or it would show up in your reality, right? Visualization's another one. Just visualize yourself having it, whether it's before you fall asleep. Stats is very popular. Stats akin to sleep. Not something that I do, but that's a technique. Envisioning yourself as that person receiving that message, receiving that promotion, being in that office, driving that car, over and over and over again, will also work. There's so many techniques out there, guys. And the number one thing you also have to remember is that your brain doesn't have eyeballs. So it doesn't see what's going on. What you tell it over and over again is what it will believe. And I don't care. I will die on that hill because I've honestly, myself, I have even negatively and positively been affected by that. If I've negatively thought a story over and over again, I always see it play out. And then I'm like, damn it, I knew better. Same thing with positive stuff.
Mhm.
And I see it play out and I get it. I'm like, well, of course, because of course I would get it, right? But so be careful with that. Remember that your mind, your consciousness, it doesn't have eyeballs. It believes what you tell it, right? So very, very, very important with that. But yeah, we manifest all the time because I get this question. We manifest all the time, whether we know it or not. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are manifesting when we're awake. That's it, right?
And or you can be, have me in your life, and if you start complaining about something, not happening, and I say, what, mm, why are you manifesting that?
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I
I get
I
that all
think
the
people
time.
get so upset, right? Because like what, I think they get upset just because I'm like, "Okay, why are you putting that into the universe?
You're
Stop
nicer
it."
than me. I'm tougher. I'm
You
tougher when
know?
they're like, but he hasn't texted. He hasn't texted. He doesn't want to text me. Yeah, he's not going to text you. That's why I say it, because in your head you have a story. He's not going to text you. That's honestly what. And oh, Nikki, you're so mean. I have to be mean because you're not getting it.
Mhm.
Right? You're not getting it. You control it. You control it. You control it. You want that text message? It's yours. Stop back and forth. Right? You want that promotion? It's yours. Stop back and
Yeah.
forth. Right? Like stop. But Kim's nicer than me when it comes to that stuff.
Well,
I do have a question though. I do have a question,
Yeah.
and I get this one all the time. I actually just got it a couple weeks ago, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to read it for this episode, and it's, I'm having trouble staying positive and uplifted while manifesting. I don't know how to change that. So don't.
Mm,
You don't have to. Wait, did I say you have to be positive the entire time in this episode? No, you don't. That's a misconception. That's the law of attraction. And we're working off the law of assumption, what you assume is going to happen in your reality. You don't have to say, if you don't feel positive that day and you don't feel like you want to put in the effort to, your affirmations or your visualizations or your wishing or whatever, then don't do it. Do something else. You don't have to be chained to it. The most important thing is knowing that you're going to get it because you deserve it. Because you do deserve everything you want. You do deserve it. If you can really know that and work on your self concept enough to know that, you don't have to be positive every day. And also watch out for that toxic positivity because that's a thing. And that is
mhm.
a dangerous thing. And people don't understand that. I see it every day and I hate it. I hate that toxic positivity. So if you can't be positive and uplifting one day or 2 days in a row, then don't be. Feel what you're feeling,
Yeah.
right? Like feel what you're feeling and continue on the next day or the day after when you feel up for it, when you feel that you're ready for it, because we do need breaks. When you're rewiring your brain, guys, it's exhausting, right, Kim?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
You need rest.
But you should also, um, in my belief, is when you are in those down moments or those moments where
Crash
you,
outs.
aren't feeling, be grati be grateful for the ability to know, okay?
Oh yeah, good
You know,
point.
this isn't it. You need to be grateful for being
Great
able
point.
just to discern what to put your energy into. You don't wanna be
Oh, I love
positive?
that.
Don't put your energy into it. Just don't, you know, just move along. Okay,
Mhm.
move along.
That's
You know,
right.
and be, grateful. Okay, I'm grateful that I have the ability to just set it aside for now.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. That's amazing advice right there, guys. That's so amazing. Absolutely. Be grateful. If you want to be if you don't have the gumption to be positive and uplifting towards yourself when it comes to manifesting one day, okay. Be grateful that you did the last couple days. And like Kim
Mhm,
says, move, do something else. Do something else. Do anything else. Like that, very important. I love that because you're right. Everything I'm telling you right now will come back to to gratification and a grateful attitude, that it's all going to come back to that, all of it. And the more grateful you are actually will help your self concept, will help you feel more secure in yourself, and make you realize you do deserve these things you want. It's like a cycle. It's a beautiful little circle, a beautiful little figure eight,
mhm.
like on Kim's tattoo.
And like my tattoo. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can even show that. Yeah.
I don't know.
888,
A
and
little eight.
that is, balance and abundance.
That's right.
888.
Right there, guys. And you see that? And you see that that's exactly what it is. It's a little cycle. That little gratitude leads to natural positivity, which leads to really strong self concept, manifestations coming true. Beautiful, beautiful little abundant circle there. So, um, don't feel pressure. Don't, that's the word. Manifesting, by the way, it's got to be fun, guys. It should be fun, like
Mhm,
tarot readings, like mediumship. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to bring something light and exciting into your life. If it's making you feel like poo, take a step back.
mhm.
Take a step back for a while, right? Don't
Yep.
do it. Don't. That stuff's supposed to be fun. Those are gifts that were given to us to experience something wonderful. So if you're starting to experience something depressing or down then stop for a little bit. Stop and regroup, right? Like Kim said, just be grateful
And
that you did so well with it, and then do something else for a little bit. That's it.
but also acknowledge the fact that you have lessons. There are gonna be lessons in life that you need to learn. So, if you're finding yourself on a repeating, negative spiral, you need to stop and think, like, "What am I doing to perpetuate this
Yes.
negativity?" Um, and so once you acknowledge and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," change it, acknowledge it, change it, be like, "Thank you, and then be grateful for that lesson.
Yes.
Be
Yep.
be I've had some really, like most people, I've had some very significantly not great things happen, but I am grateful for the lesson that they afforded me to learn, to be able
Absolutely.
to move forward and to move on and move past that lesson or
Absolutely.
lessons.
No.
Because I do
Uh,
have things that happen repeatedly,
oh
because I
yeah, we all
wasn't
got
getting
those
it.
patterns. Yeah. Just
Mhm.
FYI, just gonna throw that out there because I've had this question and this will make Kim laugh. You cannot manifest your lessons away. No.
No.
Oh, no, my God. Do Kim and I wish? Because some lessons that Kim and I go through, and we, because we talk every day, so we share our lives. There are lessons we both wish would go away for each other, for
Oh, yeah.
ourselves and for each other. It's not gonna happen that way
I've said
until we
more than
learn.
once, like, I wanna when I get back up to spirit, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
I'm not
I gotta
as
have a talk here.
awful anymore, but I wanna, like, maybe punch myself in the face, right? Like,
Yeah,
why did you pick
yeah,
those things? Because some of
yeah.
those things weren't pleasant. But
No,
now sitting
no.
on the other side of them, I am so grateful.
It's so true though. It's so true.
Because you
Uh,
don't know how amazing things are unless
ah,
you have felt it on the opposite side.
that's right. Oh, I love it. Oh, this was such a great episode. First of all, apologies to all the people that were asking us because I did have a few clients. But when's the abundant episode? When's the abundance? It's up now. So, this was a great episode. I'm really excited for the next episode, which is called Winter Blues. Um, and it's going to be very heartfelt, I think, next episode. It's going to be very heartfelt. I think it's going to be something a lot of people are going to want to hear and probably will run over time that episode. I just have this feeling that it's going to run over time. The next episode will be longer than an hour, but I think that it would be needed. It's one of those episodes that a lot of people will need to listen to around the Christmas season because, yes, for a lot of people, the Christmas season is joyous and exciting, but for a good handful, it's a struggle.
I'd
It's
say
a
for
struggle.
most people, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah, that's fair for most people.
but
Yeah.
everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
And what I will also do is I'm gonna be reading from, um there's a guide that we, refer to at St. Bridget's Spiritualist Church, and it is Silver Birch. I
Hmm.
will, be talking about one of his
Yeah.
he's got many, many stories.
It's a
So
treat for you guys.
I'm going to explain to you why you might be feeling that, separation, that, disconnect,
Hmm.
and around these times of year,
Yeah.
and it will help put things very much into place so that you can understand it, and hopefully it will help you so that you can get through without feeling so low.
Yeah. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for you guys to listen to that episode and be part of it. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think we're done for today. I think
I
we've
think
got it
so.
down packed. And you know what? I want to thank everybody for listening and who shared and liked. And we're almost at 50 subscribers, Kim. I saw that today. Kim's goal is
Oh,
50.
cool.
So let's go. Let's help her get there. Um, and honestly, like, share, comment. You're already doing amazing, and we feel very
Yes.
grateful. Honestly, I feel very grateful that we have people listening so much, and
Mhm.
that it's slowly growing. I do. I do.
It's kind of funny, people in my life, just, that I don't even expect to be like, "Oh, yeah, I was listening to this
Listen to it.
episode," or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, cool,"
Yeah.
and I'm
I
grateful
love
for that.
that. Oh,
I'm
I love it.
so grateful that, this has transpired. This
Mhm.
is episode 16.
Yeah.
Um, it just
Whoa.
came from something coming into my head saying I needed to ask Nikki if she wanted to join me with no idea, and this is what we've manifested, and I love
Yeah.
it.
And we love it, and we love it. We have so much fun doing it. Go. Um, we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it, and we wouldn't wanna be doing anything else. That's it.
No, I love it, and we always have the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So we will see you next week for our Winter Blue episode where Kim's going to read something that I think is really going to resonate with so many people. I'm talking goosebumps. I'm talking tears for some of you guys, but also uplifting. It's not going to be depressive. Let's just throw that out there. You're not
No,
going to get sadder listening to this. No, no, no.
no, no, we wanna help that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. And please do subscribe, like, share, comment, everything. We really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. And I hope you guys
Absolutely.
have a phenomenal week.
Thank you.